Well, if it isn't my fellow Shadow Priests, I'm Dark from Darkest TV, looking to be the best off-meta Shadow Priest I can be. And by off-meta, I mean I'm not a troll, or at least not the race. In this video, I wanted to provide the community with a BIS list or a priority list of items going into Ulduar Phase 2. As per request, I'm providing two lists, of which one is from hard mode Horde and Alliance, actual BIS, and one is from non-hard mode, and they will be listed together on screen per each item we cover. Hard modes will have a purple shadow, and non-hard modes will have a blue shadow. The reason I chose to do this is because many guilds, including my own, are opting to list the items instead of hard modes in your prios, because it may be some time before those hard modes are defeated, and we don't want regular loot going to waste. These lists are made from my own sims, personal experience with stat balancing and priorities, and information from the Shadow Priest Discord. If you are not a member of the Discord, I recommend checking it out, as there are plenty of great references there and lots of people to help answer any questions you may have. That link will be in the description box below. Also, if you are a starving Shadow Priest like me who has felt left out of the content space on YouTube, I'd recommend subscribing to this channel, as I will be posting frequently as part of my New Year's goal, and of course, leaving a like on the video to help spread this to a wider audience. Alright, base is covered, now let's get into the main event. First off, for our Helm slot, on the hard mode list and the non-hard mode list, you will be using the Conqueror's Circlet of Sanctification. This comes from Thorim 25-man or Emblems of Conquest. There may be a lot of competition for tier pieces, especially early on. You got prop paladins and things like that on your token, so you'll probably want to consider using this item as one of your emblem priorities. Next slot is up next. Best in slot is Sapphire Amulet of Renewal from Steelbreaker hard mode for you trolls out there, and for basically everyone else, you'll want Pendant of Fiery Havoc from Flame Leviathan. And for the non-hard mode, we have Wormrest Necklace of Power from Saffron 25-man Net Quest. Yes, this is from Phase 1, and if you don't have it, or you won't get it, you can use Evoker's Charm, purchasable with Token of Conquest, or Pendant of Focus Energies, Trash Drop, adjusting for hit, of course. Shoulder is Conqueror's Mantle of Sanctification for both lists. This comes from Yogg-Saron 25-man. No badge option for this one. Cloak hard mode BIS is Drape of Mortal Downfall, obtained from Steelbreaker for Troll, and for everyone else, you'll be using Sunglimmer Cloak. This is a quest drop from Algalon, and I'll leave a link to the Wowhead section for you to follow through with the information on how to get this cloak after you've accepted the quest from the item that Algalon drops. And for non-hard mode BIS, it's going to be the Pennant Cloak from Phase 1, or Azimuth's Drape from Mimiron. For our chest slot for both sets, we're going to be going for Conqueror's Raiments of Sanctification from Horde or Emblems of Conquest. Yet another tier piece we can pick up with emblems. I would suggest rushing for these tier pieces as fast as possible because our 4-piece is so strong for us. Bracers, we're looking at Grasps of Reason for our BIS set, and Bracers of Unleashed Magic, or the Unsullied Cuffs, which comes from Sartharion. For our weapon, arguably the most contested pieces you'll be shooting for, of course, we have Star Shard Edge. 25-man Algalon. Yes, Algalon doesn't have a hard mode, but he is just hard mode himself. Of course, actual BIS would be Valinir, but let's be somewhat realistic here. And in its place for our non-hard mode set, we have Soul Scribe, which comes from Yogg-Saron. Offhand BIS will be Cosmos from Algalon the Observer, and our non-hard mode will be Ironmender from Caligarn, or Surplus Limb from Kel'Thuzad if you need the hit to balance with the neck that we talked about earlier. For our gloves, we have Pharaoh's Gloves from Algalon, and for the non-hard mode set, we have Conqueror's Gloves of Sanctification. Yes, these are the holy ones, but the stats are better and you are getting your 4-piece elsewhere. This is obtained from Mimiron 25-man, or for a non-tier piece, which I would recommend shooting for because tier is going to be competitive. To reduce our competition, we would get Hand Wraps of Plentiful Recovery from Caligarn. In our belt slot, we have Star Watcher's Binding from Algalon, and for our non-hard mode set, we use the Sash of Ancient Power, which is a tailoring recipe drop chance from most Ulduar bosses. If the mats are hard to come by, or the recipe just won't drop for you, to get this piece, you can use Leash of Heedless Magic, but you'll have to readjust the loot on this list to get hit cap. Pants are of course tier. Conqueror's Pants of Sanctification for both lists. This does not have the badge option, so you'll want this to drop a lot so that you can get it as fast as possible. Our boots BIS will be Boots of Fiery Resolution from Flame Leviathan hard mode, and for our non-hard mode piece, it will be Boots of the Servant from Freya 25 or the Spellslinger Slippers from the Tailoring Pattern. For our 2 rings, we'll be using Nebula Band from Algalon and Conductive Seal from Mimiron, and for our non-hard mode, Higher Light Circle from Ignis the Furnace Master and Frozen Loop from Horde. Trinkets for our hard mode set will be Flare of the Heavens from General Vizax and Scale of Fates from Thorum. And for our non-hard mode set, we will be using Dying Curse, which come from multiple bosses in X 25, as you know, and Scale of Fates. Needless to say, Scale of Fates is a huge item. This is also extremely contested. If you set up priority list, put it as your number 1. I don't care. Talk it out with your casters, talk it out with the loot people, figure it out, but it's going to be a very powerful upgrade. It allows us to snapshot our dots, get fast mind flays, all that stuff at the very beginning of the pull with lust and all those things, and our burst is crazy once we have that trinket, so you'll be wanting this. And finally, in our wand slot, our BIS will be Petrified Ivy Sprig from Freya 10-man hard mode. Yes, this is a 10-man hard mode piece, as opposed to everything else that was a 25-man hard mode piece. I know it's weird, but there are really no wands that come from 25-man hard mode. And for our non-hard mode set, we will use Gemmed Wand of the Nerubians from Gluth and Anubricon. This is a swappable item, so consider potentially other items. I don't have specific recommendations for you on this. Just go with what you can. Sim it out. Figure it out on this one. I'm going to go with the Gemmed Wand of Nerubians to guarantee that I have the hit with this set that I mentioned before. Down below in the description box, I will leave a link for these sets for you to quick reference. Remember, it's not always cookie cutter. Be sure to sim along your gearing journey and sim my sets versus sets you put together. It's part of the fun of trying to be the best player you can be. Additionally, thanks to the Shadow Priest legend Passionate, the Wowhead guide for this is also available for you to check out for an even more in-depth look into this. The link will also be down below for your reference. Remember, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like on it to help get this video out to others, and consider subscribing to the channel for more Shadow Priest content. Until next time, folks, farewell!